Life can be pretty tough sometimes, can't it? We deal with all sorts of challenges, pressures at work, struggles in our relationship, financial worries, health issues, and sometimes just the overwhelming feeling of trying to keep everything together. But in the midst of all of this struggle, we have a powerful promise from Jesus. In John chapter 16, verse 33, he says, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." Jesus isn't sugarcoating it. He's being real with us. He acknowledges that life will have its troubles, but then he gives us assurance. He has overcome the world. This is where our hope comes in. Hope in Jesus isn't about wishful thinking or blind optimism. It's a deep, abiding confidence in who Jesus is and what he's accomplished. So let's dive a little bit deeper into what it means to have hope in Jesus. In Hebrews chapter 6, verse 19, hope is described as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. Now think about that imagery for a moment. An anchor holds a ship steady in the midst of a storm. It keeps it from drifting away, no matter how strong the winds or how high the waves. You see, our hope in Jesus does the same for us. It keeps us grounded, steady, and secure, even when life's storms are crashing all around us. I'm reminded of the story of the disciples on the Sea of Galilee. Now, if you don't know it, listen closely. Imagine being in their shoes. You're in a boat in the middle of a furious storm. The wind is howling and the waves are crashing all around you. And honestly, you're terrified. Then, out of the darkness, you see Jesus walking towards you on the water. And he says this, "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid." You see, in that moment, Jesus brought peace and hope. He met them right in their fear and showed them that he was in control even over the storm. Now, this same Jesus is with us today. He meets us in our fears, our anxieties, our struggles, and he's offering us his peace and reminding us of his power. Now, our hope isn't based on circumstances, but in his unchanging nature. Jesus has conquered sin and death, and he promises to be with us always. So how do we live out this hope in our daily lives? First, let's stay connected to Jesus through prayer and reading his word. When we spend time with him, we're reminded of his promises and his faithfulness. Next, let's encourage one another. Being part of a church family can be such a blessing. We can lift each other up, share our burdens, and remind each other of the hope we have in Jesus. So let's be intentional about reaching out to those who might be struggling, offering a listening ear, a kind word, or maybe even a prayer. And let's be the light in our communities, showing the love and hope of Jesus through our actions. Let's live out our life with confidence that comes from knowing Jesus has overcome the world. And when we face difficulties, let's face them with the assurance that we're not alone and that Jesus is with us.